So we're gonna start, we've got a standing opponent, we're playing seated guard, because this, makes a lot of sense for this concept and where we're going from. So when I'm playing this seated guard, he's gonna try to pass me a few different ways. The first one is he may step into the inside and try to own the middle, right? So if he steps in to own the middle without pushing me down, all I'm gonna do is connect to him. So really simple. Like a lot of times as people step in, and I have a habit of this sometimes too, is falling to our back and starting to play this game. Like I don't need to do that if he's not pushing me down. Like the shortest distance when he steps in is just to connect to him right away, right? And we're already getting to here. Once we get to here, we have a couple of options of where we can go. There's different ways you can play this. The way we're gonna play with it today is playing with what we call Dela-X and wrestling up. So the reason that I would play Dela-X is if his feet are close enough together that it's easy for me to X his leg. If I can get this X and I can get to this spot, now I can play this, because now I can pull his legs in and I can sit him on his butt, right? Now that he's on his butt, I'm simply gonna grab his ankle and I'm gonna shoot this through in triangle, and now his leg is trapped and we have a heel hook, right? So this is our first option. So he steps in and I'm just cutting this angle. Because his leg is close enough, I can just X immediately. I'm trying to get my backside leg above the knee and my other leg inside. When it's live, like I'm not gonna sit here, and just hang out. Like I'm gonna grab it and pull him in right away and sit him down. Grab the ankle, shoot through, triangle. Pass it across, and we're right in on our heel hook. All right? So we'll play with that to start with, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about if he steps out to get away from that and where we're gonna go off of that, right? Let's head 3, 2, 1. The reason we're cutting around the corner is if he steps in and I just stay in front here, he can just drive his knee down, and now I'm having to play from here, right? Whereas when I cut the corner and I go here, if he starts to come in, now I can simply just come up and I can start looking to take his back, right?
Actually, when you go to the leg entanglement and you pull that leg through, are you sitting to a hip or are you sitting square up?
So,
does it matter?
Off the Dela-X?
Yeah. And once you pull the leg through,
I'm on this hip and I'm passing it through, and then I'm collecting.
I felt like I kept losing the V-line.
So what'll help you is getting this knee through. So when I get here, I just want that knee to come up above.
Oh, okay, it was down low.
And when I trap it, now I have his knee line.
Okay.
Right? So that'll help you on that front. Cool. So when he steps to this inside and I make this turn again, as I make this turn here, I'm just gonna reach across and block this foot. So I wanna make sure my hand wraps all the way behind so he can't step back, and my forearm is coming down over the top of his foot. From here, I'm gonna drive into him. My goal is to put my head on the inside of his knee and drive his knee outside his ankle. Because anytime his knee goes outside his ankle, he's gonna fall, right? So I just come up and I drive, and I pass. All right, so he's stepping in again. I make this turn, grab that foot, block this. My elbow goes to the mat so I can pin this leg. Now I start pushing off of this foot to get to my knees and drive my head to the inside of his knee. All right, let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Obviously, after you hit this on somebody once, they become aware of what's happening. So when I get here, a lot of times they'll step out so I can't reach that leg, right? So when they do this, I'm just gonna use this to wrestle up. Since I can't reach that leg at all, I'm just gonna plant this foot and I'm gonna step up using my right foot to lift his leg. So I come right into our single, now I'm right into our trip, and now I can take him down, go to the leg drag, right? So again, he steps in, I make this turn, he steps away. So I just keep leaning into him. right? Like if I back my weight off, he's gonna drive back into me. It's gonna be hard to come up. So I wanna make sure I lean into him as I come up. Make the switch, get the takedown, right, wherever you want to go. So this is option 2 when he tries to hide that far leg when I try to go to my Dela-X, right? Let's say 3, 2, 1. When he steps in the middle, a lot of times they don't just let you sit up, right? They'll just push you down as they step in, right? So when he pushes me down, I got to make a connection to him right away. The easiest connection is, our spiral clinch or this reverse De La Hiva, right? So I can just get right to this spot. As I do this, as he pushes me down, if I can get wrapped around his knee at the same time, like this is a lot better. Right? Now I'm completely connected to his leg, both hands, both feet. Right? This starts to give me different options. I could just sit back up and go right back to what we just did. Right? This is what Kyle actually does. So he'll connect, and then he kicks, he comes up, and he goes right back into that takedown we were just doing, right? But when I land here and I have this control, I have other options. Primarily, I can start to make spins and interleg entanglements, right? Or take the back. So again, he pushes me down. We come here, and I'm looking to get this control. All I need is the back of his knee. I can be hand deep or I can be elbow deep. Either one, will work. It's elbow deep's obviously harder to get, especially as he's pushing you down. So a lot of times I'll just settle for just grabbing with the hand, right? Then my hand is shooting in front of his leg, just like we do when we crab ride. So that we can go here. As I start to come through, I'm gonna have to make a switch with my hand back to the back of his knee, and I funnel my foot inside. And then now, if he sits down, we're here. If he back steps, we're coming across and finishing. All right, once more. So we're here, shooting in, making this switch, coming through, right to our backside 50-50. If he steps through, we can come in either into a 411 or a 90-10. Right? Yep. Pushes, we catch here. I shoot this in. As I start to invert, I gotta let go, re-grab, pummel my foot in. All right? Now I'm just locking this up and twisting down, and we're in backside 50-50. If he back steps, I'm just gonna bring my foot to his stomach. My other foot comes across the 90-10, and we finish here. And that way I don't have to play shootouts in 50-50. Right? Let's try it. 3, 2, 1. Right? So when he pushes me and he steps in and I get here, right? I could just Jackie Chan it.
Yeah, that's what feels natural.
Yeah.
Right? Guys are getting good at understanding that Jackie Chan. So what starts to happen, if you watch like Elijah Carlton's matches, this is where this backside 50-50 comes in on with him. Is when he gets here and he comes this way, they will push this foot and open it up. So when he comes through.
The jabroni spin. That's why. Oh, it makes so much more sense now.
Right?
Boom.
So you can totally Jackie Chan, and if they push your foot, you just throw the other foot around and you're in backside 50-50 instead. Right? So their defense to the Jackie Chan doesn't do them any good. You're still in on the leg. Right? So that's why I showed the backside 50-50 one first, because it's the harder of the two to kind of get conceptually. And once you understand that, like the Jackie Chan's pretty easy, so you can go back and forth between Jackie Chan and that. So, and really, like, it's one of those things, like, I usually shoot Jackie Chan too, because most people don't do that, but I've seen it done to Elijah enough times where they grab that foot and then he just throws the other leg in and goes to backside 50-50. Right? So at the higher levels, guys will start messing and grabbing that foot as it comes around, so you got to know what to do next. And it's just making that switch right to the backside 50-50. Right? Cool. All right, so we're going to deal with that same situation, and we're going to talk about if you don't, like, doing all the spin throughs and everything. Another way you can play this where you can start to, to get to people's backs and have options there. You're still gonna have to crab ride, but it's not gonna be as much of the leg entanglement stuff, right? It's just straight out of the warm-ups. So, he can push me down and I can get here and then I can just simply crab ride him through. Take his back, right? Like that's another option for you if the whole leg entanglement thing isn't your thing, right? Straight out of the warm-ups, just crab ride to the back, right? So, so know that that's there as well. The other thing you can play with on this is playing with getting moving him around with this spiral clinch. So when I get here, I can shoot this through. If you're familiar with Mantis Guard from Dela-X, like this is like Mantis Guard from Spiral Clinch, right? And I go here. And now I can sit him down by simply turning my knees to the outside. Right? And now I'm on top. Right? So I just keep his foot off the ground and now I can start working my passes. Right? So this is another option from here too, off of this spiral clinch. So we'll play with this a little bit. So as he pushes me and I land here, I'm shooting this through again like I'm in a crab ride, but this time I'm just grabbing my shin and it locks his leg in place. All right? Now I'm just turning both my knees to the outside and it drops into his hip.
And you said you're lifting his leg off the mat here?
Yeah, so I want to keep it off the mat. Right? Because this is, if I let go of it, he's just going to come back up and he's going to start, he's going to start countering and doing all his stuff, right? So once I get him down, I just want to keep his foot off the mat.
Okay.
So that keeps him on his hip. And then now I can start my passing. Right? So let's play with that kind of reverse Mantis Guard. And let's see how, let's get comfortable with that. And add that as one of the options, right? So 3, 2, 1.